Welcome back to our November edition of What's Up Stratford. Joining me next is Breen Bentley. Breen, thanks so much for joining me.
I'm glad to be here with you.
Well, thank you. Breen, you have at least 4 decades of experience in hospitality, probably longer if we date back to Alibaba and the Old English Parlor. How did those early days help you be so successful in business?
I think I worked with a bunch of strong people that gave good leadership skills, and they were hungry to get ahead, and they'd made me very hungry to get ahead when I saw them maybe buy a car, maybe go on a trip, maybe buy a house. So I energized myself by kind of saying, I like to be like those guys. They were hard workers, and then you have to love food and you have to love money and alcohol and people, I think, and a challenge. And just to be a bit hungry to get ahead. So I worked out with a few of the strong people I worked with way back in my teenage days. I should never have been a restaurant guy. It just happened as a young kid by accident. I think it was an accident.
Well, good
I think
accident. You won the Chamber of Commerce Business Leader of the Year. How did that feel?
I think it felt sensationally great regarding my family. It's nice to leave a little bit of a story behind, or a little bit of some great memories of dad did pretty good at that darn restaurant business, and he hung in there for 40 years. So you want to leave a really good impression on your kids that working hard and being aggressive and moving ahead is good for the family. So I was proud for my family.
And so you should be. So it's Brooklyn, Tanner, and Breen Jr. are
Yeah,
now
yeah,
running the business.
three kids, and the little miracle is they all work at the same place. We all work at that place. So I don't know if anybody could pull that off in Canada. I was hoping one, but we all ended up doing it.
That's amazing. So how has the Stratford Festival helped your business?
Yeah, if the story goes pretty good, that restaurant I have would not be in St. Thomas or Brantford or Chatham or we'll say Woodstock. It was built more for more of a higher end roadhouse, higher end pub, higher end lounge, and really specializing in giving real food, real soup, real bread, and real what I call hands-on, trying to excite, create some reactions with people. You want the place to look beautiful, feel good. You want them to take care of their taste buds. But that place without the Festival Theater in Stratford wouldn't be there. It's too big. It's too hard to run. In those other cities I mentioned, it wouldn't have lasted. Stratford, it suits, but I was lucky because I built it more to be for a local place, but I knew I could get the extra business from the theater, which is very beneficial.
Yes. And we seem to be living in a culture of franchises. If you could give some advice to people that want to open their own restaurant, what would it be?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think Stratford's unique in its own way with Pazel's and Mercer and Foster's and a lot of what I call homegrown family businesses. But the world, unfortunately, banks don't want to talk to a family restaurant guy. We're like opening up a gas station. They don't want to go near us because they don't have a very good overall success rate. So the banks, when you go and say I'm from we'll say Subway company, or I'm come from Tim Hortons, I want to open up a Popeyes chicken. The banks don't mind hearing that. But when you go into the bank now and you say, I'm Breen Bentley, and I'd like to open up a restaurant in Toronto, you're not high in the bank's list when it comes to being a successful industry. The restaurant business has one of the biggest turnovers I think in the country. It's a hard game, and you're right, Peter. I think what we're going to see in the future is just a majority of franchises everywhere.
Well,
Independent.
yeah, well, independence, as you're saying, your recipe, pun intended, of success is phenomenal. So tell us about the accommodation side. How does that help marry in with the food and drink side?
Yeah, the accommodation part of the food and beverage is very hard work. It's 7 days a week, and it's a lot of staff, a lot of headaches. The rooms are really a comfortable way to make a little extra cash flow because they're basically they don't take much management. You do the clean up and you supervise the rooms, but the accommodations, and we kind of want to make sure whoever stays upstairs loves to drink downstairs and loves to eat downstairs. So sometimes our customers are more catered to being more of a Bentley friendly kind of person or a
Friends of the
family.
Bentleys.
Yeah, yeah, but the accommodations are great. Like I would love to own a big hotel because you don't have to worry so much about New Year's Eve and Christmas and all that. The hotel, they just come and they go. If you don't have like a big restaurant part of it, just like a big hotel. But the accommodation thing was a lucky catch too. Those 13, 12 rooms, they've been very beneficial to me.
Well, it's said the harder you work, the luckier you get. So your hard work has paid off. And congratulations on the award. And also, big congratulations, especially your three children taking over the business. Breen, thanks very much for joining me today.
Okay, thank you very much. Cheers.
Coming up next is Nora Stevens.